Hello, students, and welcome to episode 79 of today's online English lesson. Recently, in a lot of my private lessons, we are talking about this book, Heart of a Samurai, and it's about Jon Manjiro and his adventure to America. And it made me think a lot about the different adventures that many explorers have taken over the years, which led me to the topic for today, which is the world's greatest explorers. So we are going to dive in and look at some of the world's greatest explorers, navigators, what they discovered, where they went, and what they did that was so great. So let's jump in. All right, I'll start reading from now. For thousands of years, people have looked at the horizon and wondered what might lie beyond it. Long before airplanes, satellites, and modern maps, brave navigators sailed across oceans with only simple tools, the stars, and their own courage to guide them. These explorers opened new sea routes, connected different cultures, and expanded the world's understanding of geography. Although their journeys were often long and uncertain, their stories continue to inspire curiosity about the wider world. One of the earliest great navigators was Zheng He from China. He lived during the 1400s and served the Ming Emperor. Zheng He commanded enormous fleets of ships that sailed across the Indian Ocean to places such as Southeast Asia, India, the Middle East, and East Africa. His ships were far larger than most European ships of the same time. Zheng He's voyages were not only about exploration, but also about building relationships and trade between countries. According to historical records, his fleet sometimes included hundreds of ships and thousands of sailors. People in many ports were amazed when these giant ships arrived, bringing goods, animals, and gifts from distant lands. In Europe, another famous navigator was Christopher Columbus. In 1492, he sailed west across the Atlantic Ocean, hoping to find a new route to Asia. At that time, many people believed the journey would be impossible because the ocean seemed endless. Columbus and his crew spent weeks at sea, unsure of what they would find. One story from the voyage described how the sailors became nervous and worried as the days passed without seeing land. Finally, after more than 2 months, they spotted land in the distance. The moment was filled with excitement and relief. Although Columbus believed he had reached Asia, his journey opened the way for many future voyages across the Atlantic. Another remarkable navigator was Ferdinand Magellan. In 1519, he led a fleet of ships on an ambitious mission to sail west and reach Asia. His expedition faced storms, hunger, and long months of traveling across unknown waters. Magellan himself did not complete the entire journey, but one of his ships eventually returned to Spain after sailing all the way around the world. This voyage proved that the earth could be circled by sea. It was an incredible achievement for a time when maps were incomplete and navigation was extremely difficult. Exploration was not limited to Europe and China. Japan also has a fascinating story connected to long ocean voyages. In the early 1600s, a samurai named Hasekura Tsunenaga was sent on a diplomatic mission across the Pacific Ocean. His journey began in Japan and continued to Mexico, which was then part of New Spain. From there, he traveled to Spain and even visited Rome. Hasekura met important leaders and represented Japan far from home. For many people in Europe, it was the first time they had ever seen a samurai. His long voyage showed how ocean travel could connect cultures that were separated by great distances. Several centuries later, the British navigator James Cook explored the Pacific Ocean. During the late 1700s, he carefully mapped many islands and coastlines that were previously unknown to Europeans. Cook was known for his attention to detail and his skill as a navigator. One interesting story from his voyages involves his efforts to keep his sailors healthy during long trips. At that time, many sailors suffered from a disease called scurvy. Cook encouraged his crew to eat fresh foods whenever possible, including fruits and vegetables. As a result, his sailors stayed healthier than many other crews of the time. Life at sea for these navigators was never easy. Ships were small, storms were dangerous, and the voyages could last for months or even years. Sailors relied on simple instruments such as compasses and early maps. They also used the stars and the position of the sun to guide their direction. Despite the difficulties, these explorers continued to sail into the unknown, driven by curiosity and determination. The great navigators of history helped expand human knowledge of the world. Their journeys connected distant regions and allowed people to learn about lands far beyond their own horizons. Today, modern technology makes travel much easier, but the spirit of exploration still remains. The stories of these navigators remind us that curiosity and courage can lead people to discover new paths and bring distant parts of the world closer together. All right, you guys, thank you for listening. Let's move on to our vocabulary. I have 5 vocab words for us to study today. Number 1 is navigator. Navigator is a person who plans and guides the direction of a ship or boat. Number 2, horizon. The line where the sky and the earth or ocean seem to meet in the distance. That's called the horizon or the horizon line. Number 3, voyage. A long journey by sea. A long journey. Number 4, fleet. A large group of ships traveling together. And number 5, diplomatic. Related to communication between countries, especially to build friendly relationships. Diplomatic. All right, that was our 5 vocab questions. Did you know, our 5 vocab words. Did you know all those vocab words? Which ones were new for you? Let's move on to our final part, which is the discussion questions. What was the longest trip you have ever taken? Where did you go and what did you do? So try to think of like a really long airplane ride or a long train ride or something like that. So which one was the longest? Okay, number 2. What do you think is the most difficult part of being an explorer at that time? So think about their experiences on the boat, exploring new lands, uncharted or unknown waters. What do you think is the most difficult part? Number 3, are you good at knowing where to go on a map? Did you study geography or maps at school when you were young? Number 4, tell me about a famous explorer adventurer, or traveler from your country's history? And number 5, if you had the chance to explore one place in the world, where would you like to go? Okay, I want to answer one of these questions for you guys. So, what I want to do is I want to talk about number 5. If I had a chance to explore one place in the world, so this is like going back in history and rediscovering a new land, a new place. I think I would like to explore Hawaii. It's a very beautiful island country at that time. It had indigenous people that looked very interesting. They had advanced technology like canoes for riding to the different islands. They used unique navigations that are unknown to today. We don't know how they sailed around. So I would like to explore that. And it seems like they had a lot of delicious food in Hawaii. I know that they had a huge banana population, so there would be lots of delicious bananas to eat at that time, which could be very nice. And of course, I would enjoy all the beautiful scenery of the tropical islands, the nice sunsets, and the beautiful ocean views. So I think I would like to explore Hawaii. Okay, how about you guys? I'd like to hear your answers, and I look forward to hearing everyone in our next meeting. Okay, goodbye for now. Thank you for watching. See you.